All right, it's been 15 minutes.
Cool. All right. You're back in session.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls Emerson, Your Honor.
Mr. Rosen.
May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
Sure. Hello, I'm Emerson Rock.
What do you do for a living?
I run a company called Raj & Corp. We own a lot of local bars and restaurants across the house.
Do you own a bar called the Hellfire Lounge?
Yeah, it's actually just a few blocks down on Bellagio. It's been a big hit with the UCLA kids.
Sir, do you know why you're here today?
I do. One of my employees, Alex Maloney, he was attacked outside my bar last year.
Can you explain to the members of the jury why you're involved in a trial where Alex Maloney is suing Teddy Mothersbaugh?
Sure. As a part of my employment contract with Alex, I agreed to represent him in the event that he was injured on the job and wasn't in a position to represent himself.
Sir, you've been here throughout today's trial, so did you hear defense counsel say that you brought this lawsuit because you have a personal vendetta against the defendant?
I heard that's just not true.
Well, why did you bring this lawsuit?
Because honestly, there was no one else who could. His parents passed away about 15 years ago. He's got a younger brother, Gene, but he's still a minor, so he couldn't do it. And if I didn't, that there wouldn't be any justice for Alex, and that there wouldn't be any way to provide for Gene. He wouldn't get anything either.
Then I want to break down your relationship with Alex. How did you meet?
We met about 4 years ago. Came by the Hellfire and asked if we had any work for him.
Did you give him a job?
Not at first. I mean, look, I run a string of nightclubs. I didn't really have a position for him where we could really focus on growing as a person, building a career. I just didn't have anything that I thought would be helpful for him. But Alex, he would persist.
What do you mean?
Well, every day for weeks he would come by, ask is there anything available, any odd jobs, anything. Said he would wash dishes, steam the rugs, even offered to wash my car for cash.
Well, sir, you already told us that he was your employee, so does that mean that you offered him a job eventually?
Yeah, Alex, he wore me down. After a while, I said, fine, let's talk, and we just talked about everything. His family, his brother, what he wanted in life, and I don't know, I thought he had something special. Wasn't just looking to go from one job to another. He wanted something real. I believed him. I thought he had drive, so I figured I'd take him under my wing, mentor him, and try to make something of him. I gave him a position as my bodyguard so we could chat.
Was he good at his job?
It was a little rough at first, but he got the hang of it. After a few months, he was one of my best employees.
Sir, do you know if Alex might have had a drug problem?
Yeah. Caught him once in the bathroom at the Hellfire, snorted something, and I was furious. I mean, just to throw it all away like that, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to fire him. I told him he should get help, he should go to rehab, but what he did on his own time was his own business, and so long as it didn't interfere with his job, I wasn't going to make an issue.
Well, while he was taking those drugs, did you ever see him act violent?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, at this time to improper propensity evidence, if I may briefly be heard.
Yes.
Your Honor, Rule 404 actually prohibits this exact kind of testimony, using prior actions to show that Alex was a non-violent person on drugs to prove that he wouldn't act violently on drugs in today's case. That's the exact definition of propensity evidence, and it's not admissible.
Response, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is definitionally not character evidence. To ask how he behaved while on drugs is not going to any trait that was pertinent to his character to prove that he acted in a certain way later. Your Honor, we're simply establishing that while he was on drugs, whether or not he acted in a different way. It goes to his actual behavior and not to any character trait of violence that's instilled in who he is initially.
Are you objecting under 404A or 404B?
404A, Your Honor.
Okay. What was the question as phrased?
When Alex ever took those drugs, did you ever see him get violent? And the answer was no.
Yeah, I'm gonna sustain the strike.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I want to go back to talking about the Hellfire Lounge. Have you ever been accused of dealing drugs out of this business?
Yeah, last year that there were these two reporters who came by, who started writing articles saying I was the head of a drug trafficking.
Who were those reporters?
Ali Uchida and Teddy Motorsport.
Is any of that true?
Absolutely. Look, I don't sell drugs. I'm not a head of some gang or anything like that. I run a bar where people can get a drink and listen to nice music. I don't know where they got any of this stuff.
You told us that they took a keen interest in your bar. Did you ever see them around the Hellfire Lounge?
Yeah, a few times we have live circuit CCTV cameras. It's nothing fancy, but just so we can keep an eye on what's going on in case we need to intervene in a bar brawl or something. And I saw them on there a couple.
When were those times?
First time was July 9th of last year, and then again about 10 days later.
Let's start with July 9th then. What time were you viewing those cameras?
Late, I think around 11 p.m. Club was already in full swing. I saw Ms. Uchida out in the one of the staff areas, and she was out there with Alex.
Do you know why Miss Uchida would have been in a staff area?
I have no earthly idea. I can tell you she wasn't supposed to be back there. Luckily, Alex found her, walked her out of the club.
From what you could see on those cameras, did Alex harm her when he walked her out of the club?
No.
Objection, Your Honor, again to improper propensity evidence.
Response.
Yes, Your Honor, this is in no way any character trait. We're talking about an instance when he had to remove her from the bar. Your Honor, he's already laid the foundation that was his job, that was Alex Malone's job. And this is going to an incident to show that he was doing his job, moving her out of the bar, and it's building up foundation as to why these two witnesses had been around the Hellfire Lounge to begin with.
Brief response, Your Honor.
Yeah.
The character trait they're going for is non-violence. That because Alex didn't act violently on this specific occasion, he was less likely to act violently on the date in question. It's clear propensity.
I believe she's using this under 404B2 for absence of mistake, so I don't know if we'll get.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did it seem to you like Alex harmed Miss Uchida?
Oh, he just walked her out of the bar and waited till she walked away.
Did you see anything else?
As Alex took Ms. Uchida out of the bar, Mr. Mothersbaugh came up and started yelling at Alex.
Were you able to hear what he said?
Not on the cameras, they don't have microphones attached, but I got a little worried, and so I went down to see what was going on, and Teddy was just letting Alex have it, telling him, "Don't touch my partner. If you lay a finger on her, I'll kill you."
What did AJ do?
Nothing. Just waited with me until they walked away and we went back inside.
You told us that you saw Miss Uchida and Miss Mothersbaugh in that footage in the alleyway. You said you saw them on July 19th too. Can you describe what you saw on July 19th?
Yeah, it wasn't Miss Uchida, it was just Mr. Mothersbaugh. Saw him on the camera in our backyard.
Did you recognize a photo of that alley?
Sure.
Sir, if you turn to exhibit 3 in that binder, Your Honor, pursuant to stipulation 13 is reading. What are we looking at?
This is a picture of the alley. It's a still from the security camera we had.
Did you ever see the two of them in that alley or Miss Mothersbaugh?
Yeah, but like I was saying, saw Mr. Mothersbaugh back there and he was just kind of looking around. He looked at the door, the hellfire that's back there, and then started just looking up and down the walls and twitching down.
Did the defendant ever move back into frame?
I couldn't tell you. The camera had stopped working about 5 minutes after he was there.
Do you know if that camera could have been damaged intentionally?
I have no. I mean, at first I thought it was just a glitch in the system or something like that. So I went out to check when it didn't come back online, and I saw that the wire was broken. Just a clean cut.
Well, I want to be very clear. Was AJ or Alex around the bar whenever those wires were cut?
No, he was off that night. Said he wanted to spend some time with his little brother.
Did you see anyone else in that alleyway when those wires were cut?
No one that evening. It was just Mr. Motzko.
Then what happened very next day?
Alex, he was attacked
Where was he attacked?
in that same back alleyway.
Were you able to view that attack?
No, the camera was out, and I didn't think we needed to get it prepared immediately. But I wish I had. I mean, then I might have seen what was going on. I could have gone down and stopped it. I could have called the police, something, but I just didn't know. I didn't know until later, or when sirens started going off, and by then it was just too.
Thank you for your time. No further questions, Joe.
Ross?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rajan.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nick Kitahara, and I'm just gonna be asking you some questions today on behalf of Mr. Mothersbaugh, all right?
Okay.
Now, sir, I want to start by talking about whether or not we can trust your word. Because, sir, you just talked a lot about security footage, right?
Yeah, we had the live CCTV.
Now, sir, you didn't bring in any of that security footage to show the members of the jury today, did you?
No, just the still from when we had it installed. It's just live. We're not a huge operation, so we don't have tapes or anything.
Sir, you run a pretty popular bar, right?
Sure, it's picked up a lot of.
Sir, your attorneys, they didn't call another witness who was at that popular bar who could have corroborated what you said, right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, they didn't call another witness who saw what you saw, right?
When are you talking about?
Talking about Mr. Mothersbaugh in the alley.
Sure, I didn't see anyone else back there when I saw it on the cameras.
Right, sir, so if we don't have any security footage, if we don't have another witness, well, we just have to take your word, right?
I guess so, sure.
Let's talk about how trustworthy your word is. Because, sir, you're actually a convicted criminal, aren't you?
Yeah, about 10 years ago, I'm convicted for some drug trafficking.
Sir, you were brought up on RICO charges, right?
That's right.
You were convicted of being engaged in organized crime, right, sir?
That's right. Made some mistakes in my past. I was part of an organization. I just trusted the wrong folks. I did my time, and I've been straight and narrows.
Sir, you did 10 years in federal prison, right?
That's right.
You didn't get out on parole.
No, I didn't ask for parole. I just wanted to do my time, show that I was rehabilitated, that I was safe.
Sir, you said that after you got out of prison, well, you've been straight as an arrow, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Sir, after you got out of prison, the police found drugs in your office, right?
Yeah, it was part of an investigation into the previous owner of the Hellfire. Bought it back in 2021. My understanding is there's some sort of ongoing case there.
How many kilograms of drugs did the police find in your office?
I don't remember, sir, that they weren't my drugs, that they were for the previous owner.
Does a kilogram sound right?
Sure. Again, I don't remember, sir. I'm not involved in that.
Sir, you're telling us that these weren't your drugs, but isn't it true that the police actually found them hidden behind a self-portrait of you?
Yeah, there was a portrait in my office and then fake portion of the wall that they were put behind. I didn't know it was there when I bought the box.
Well, sir, if those weren't your drugs, if you were convicted of organized crime, well, I want to talk about why you might be here. Because the truth is, sir, this case, it isn't about justice for Alex Mahoney, right?
No, it's about justice, sir.
Sir, this case is about revenge, isn't it?
If that's how you want to put it, it's about accountability. About making sure the person who put Alex in a coma is held responsible.
Sir, wait a minute, I want to break that down. Because you're actually the owner of Rajan Corp, a company here in the state, right?
Yeah.
And for a while now, you've actually been trying to merge your company with Mr. Mothersbaugh's company, right?
Yeah, we've had ongoing talks between our boards.
And sir, you actually believe if that company merger went through, it would make you billions of dollars, right?
Sure.
You believe Mr. Mothersbaugh is the only person in your way trying to get those billions of dollars, true?
That's what I've heard from the people leading the negotiation.
Sir, because of that, you hate Mr. Mothersbaugh.
Sure, I don't like Mr. Mothersbaugh. I don't like him because he put Alex in a coma, so.
Sir, you use the word hate, right?
Sure,
You call Mr. Mothersbaugh your enemy, right?
sure.
Sir, you actually always retaliate against your enemies, don't you?
Yeah, I'm no stranger to a lawsuit like that.
Now, sir, when you were asked about why you brought this case, well, you said it was for specifically to get revenge against Mr. Mothersbaugh, right?
Yeah, for what he did to Alex.
Wait a minute, sir, when you were asked that question, it was in the context of that company merger, right?
Sir, when you asked me that question, I told you this was about justice for Alex.
It's your testimony that you said this was about justice for Alex, sir?
That's right, I told you this is about accountability.
You remember being deposed for today's case, right?
I do,
You'd recognize that deposition if you had it in front of you, right?
sure.
If you could actually turn in that binder, it should be in there for you, sir. Sir, if you turn to that back page, that's your signature, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You know you had to be truthful in this deposition, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And yet up until trial began today to update it if anything was incorrect, right?
That's right.
Now, I actually want to direct you to two separate portions of this deposition, if that's all right, sir.
Okay.
The first one is on page 2. I apologize, give me one moment. On page 3, sir. Lines 67 through 71. So then why are you serving as AJ Maloney's administrator if you were furious with AJ? Answer, because I'm a business person first and foremost. As part of my employment contract, I say that I will serve as administrator for any employee who's incapacitated on the job. So I'm here satisfying my obligations so that others know to trust my word. Sir, nowhere in that answer do you say this is about justice for Miss Maloney, right?
Sir, not in why I'm serving as the administrator for his estate. No, I'm not there. But later I told you this was about accountability.
Well, sir, let's go to that portion. It should be lines 186, sir. Question. So is this lawsuit really about revenge against Teddy Mothersbaugh? And you end it with, of course, this is about revenge, right, sir?
Sure, I said, sir, right here, revenge is just what accountability looks like these days. I told you exactly what I just said.
Doesn't say justice, right?
It says accountability.
Thank you, Mr. Rajan. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused, thank you. Next witness for the defense.
Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls Mr. Teddy Mothersbaugh to the stand.
Mr. Mothersbaugh.
May I proceed?
You may.
Good afternoon, sir. Could you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
I'm Teddy Mothersbaugh.
Sure. We've heard a lot of accusations against you today. I want to give members of the jury a chance to hear from you. Did you fight AJ Maloney on July 20th?
Yes, I did.
Why'd you do that?
I saw him attacking somebody. My girlfriend, Ali Uchida. I thought he knocked her unconscious and, I thought he was going to kill her. So I stepped in.
Objection, Your Honor. Rule 602, speculation.
Response, Your Honor.
Yes,
Your Honor is testifying to what he thought, it's not speculation.
I agree with counsel overruled.
Sir, did you target AJ Malone?
No,
Sir, did you beat him when he was already down?
no, sir.
Did you walk into that alley on July 20th planning to hurt AJ Malone?
Absolutely not. I never planned to hurt anybody. I think about that night a lot, you know? If there was anything I could have done different. But he just kept going and he just wouldn't stop.
So we'll come back to that fight in a bit. But first, I want to talk more about you. Are you the serpent?
Yes, I am.
Sir, how did you make the choice to become a vigilante?
It was a few years ago. My best friend Felix, he got hooked on drugs. And it was only after he started going to this club called the Hellfire. And then one day, they found Felix. He was at the club and he had overdosed. He had died. The police just didn't follow up on him. I wanted to stop other people from getting hurt like he did.
Sir, but why vigilante?
I mean, it started as an investigation thing. I wanted to look at the Hellfire, try to understand whether there were drugs moving in and out. I was worried for my safety, so I put on the disguise. And then I started seeing people get hurt in front of me. And there was no one else to help them. So I stepped in. I mean, to be clear, I never use weapons and I don't start fights. I only ever step in if someone's gonna get hurt or worse.
So then I want to talk a little bit more about what happened on July 20th. So why were you at the Hellfire that day?
It was part of my investigation. At that point, I've been looking at the club for a few weeks. And I'd seen people moving in and out with drugs, purchasing drugs. But I was also actually there with Allie, my girlfriend. And she's a reporter, and she told me that she was planning on working on her own story at the club. So I tagged along.
What did Allie do when she got there?
She went inside. But I hung back, I waited outside, maybe across the street. And nothing happened for a while, but then she came out the other side. And she was with Mr. Alex Maloney.
What was Mr. Malone doing?
He was grabbing her arm, pulling it. And I saw her face twist in pain and she shouted, please stop. I'll just go.
Did Mr. Malone stop?
No, I saw him yank her hair back and pull her head back and slam it against the wall. Allie's not a big person. She's maybe 5'2". And I thought this guy looked my height, like 6'1". I saw her eyes roll into the back of her head and she fell. And that's when I stepped in.
What happened after you stepped in?
I saw Mr. Maloney going back for Alex, so I grabbed his arm and I yanked it and as hard as I could. But he just didn't stop, he kept going. With his other arm, he yanked himself free and picked up something from the ground. He started swinging it around and then brought it over Allie's head.
Sir, when he brought that item above Allie's head, what'd you do?
That's when I swung at him. And I hit him, I got him in the chest. And then he turned at me and charged at me. And then it just kept going. I kept pushing him and swinging at him and trying to keep him away from Ally. But no matter what I did, he just kept going.
So you keep saying he just kept going. Could you turn to exhibit 1 in that binder in front of you?
Of course.
Let me know when you're there.
I'm
What's that exhibit?
This is Alex Maloney's medical intake form. I was shown it before today.
The defense offers exhibit 1 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's entered.
Sir, can you read the first bullet point under toxicology report, that page?
I can. It says, small amounts of controlled substances detected in the bloodstream, including cocaine, MDMA, and meth.
Sir, when you saw Mr. Maloney that night, did you notice anything odd about him?
Yeah, he had this white powder under his nose. And his eyes were all wide and wild. And no matter what I tried to do, it was like nothing I did had any effect on him.
Sir, how did that fight end?
I swung at him and I hit his jaw. And finally, he fell down and he wasn't getting back up. And when I saw that he wasn't getting back up, I left. And I wish none of it ever happened.
Thank you, sir. Have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
I proceed. Sir, I want you to be honest with me. How many times would someone have to lie to you before you stop trusting their word?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know what you mean.
1, maybe 2 times?
Ma'am, I'm not lying to you or to anyone here.
I find it interesting you say that, sir, because you remember whenever me and my counsel, we submitted a complaint against you.
I do.
And you remember that we alleged a few things about you in that complaint.
I do, yes.
You're also familiar with what you've just told the members of the jury here today.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I saw. That's what happened.
Sir, you told them first that you are the serpent.
I am.
You told them second that you did in fact harm AJ Maloney that night.
I did. He was attacking my girlfriend, so I did.
But sir, in that complaint, you didn't answer those things.
No,
You said, no, I'm not the serpent.
that's right.
And you said, no, I did not harm Alex Maloney on July 20th.
That's what my lawyers advised to put down there. I'm here to come clean and tell the truth.
So sir, you've not told the truth in relation to this case before.
Sitting in court today, ma'am, I'm here to tell you the truth.
But you haven't before, sir.
Right, I did what my lawyers told me to do on that complaint form.
So that's not the first time you've lied to someone now, is it?
How do you mean?
Well, it's not the first time you've lied to someone about your identity as the serpent.
That's true. I didn't tell Allie about the whole serpent thing until, well, after she was kidnapped. I was worried that it would get her in danger, but yeah,
Sir, it wasn't just your girlfriend who you lied to, it was also your friends.
right. I didn't tell anyone about my identity.
It was also your family.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't want to involve anyone else into the investigation I was doing. I didn't want to put anyone in danger.
So sir, you kept the truth away from every person you interacted.
About my identity, that's true.
Sir, You did this because you say that you would do anything to protect people.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I put my body on the line, I get injured, I got pretty hurt that night.
You would lie to protect people.
About my identity, that's right.
So you would lie as many times as it takes to protect people.
Right, I mean, like we talked about, I didn't tell anybody about the certain thing. I'm coming clean now.
So you agree with me that if you lost this case, it'd be pretty difficult to be back on those streets protecting people.
Yes, ma'am. I would have a harder time trying to look into drug crimes and figure out what's going on. That's true.
Well then, sir, I want to talk about what you might not have told us in order to make sure you can get back out on those streets and protect people. Because, sir, you're familiar with a group called the Rats.
Yes, I am.
You believe that this is a group responsible for most of the drug trafficking here in Tower City.
That's right. Based on my investigation, there's this gang called the Rats, they have rat tattoos. They're involved a lot in the drug trafficking.
Sir, do you believe that they're responsible for this drug trafficking, and because of that, you specifically target them?
That's true. I look into them.
You target them.
That's right.
Sir, you believe that Alex Maloney was a part of that group that you target?
That's my understanding. I mean, he was working at the Hellfire Club, and my understanding is the Hellfire Club was involved in this trade. So that would make sense.
Sir, that's a yes to my question. You target the group that you believe Alex Maloney was a part of.
That group, yes, they're the target of my investigation.
Well, then I want to figure out if you might have targeted them on the night of July 20th, because, sir, you were here for the open statement of your counsel.
Yes, earlier today, I was.
You were here when Mr. Lee said that you would prove that your reaction was proportional to the violence you say was being inflicted by Mr. Maloney.
It was. I tried to stop them and just wouldn't. That's right.
So you're familiar with the intake form for your girlfriend Ali you cheated on that night.
I believe so.
You're familiar with the fact that she had no concussion,
Right, I don't remember seeing that on the intake form.
no internal bleeding,
Right, I haven't looked at it in a little bit, but that seems right to me.
no major bruising, just some.
I don't believe so. I remember she had a wrenched shoulder. She wasn't conscious when she first came in, but I don't remember any bruising.
Sir, you're aware that she, today, is not the person who's lying in a coma.
No, ma'am. Mr. Maloney is still in the hospital.
But
That's
what you're telling us is that on the night of July 20th, you saw Mr. Maloney holding up something that he was swinging towards Ali Uchida.
Right, after I yanked his arm, he picked something up and started swinging it.
Sir, was it this object, the batteries inside of a sock?
It looks like that.
Sir, in Ali Uchida's medical report, it does not have any injuries consistent. It doesn't state that it has any injuries consistent with being hit with this item.
No, ma'am. When I saw him lift it up and swing it down towards her, that's when I got him. I managed to get him before he moved.
But sir, what you do know is that both your attorneys and ours have agreed that Mr. Maloney's injuries were consistent with that exact weapon.
That's my understanding.
You told us that you don't use weapons in a fight,
I don't.
and you're telling us today that you didn't hit Mr. Maloney, whose actual injuries have been reported to match this weapon, with the sock and batteries.
No, ma'am. I mean, you can see it's a sock and batteries. I assume that if you were to use it, you'd hit someone, but I use my fists.
Sir,
I don't like using my fists, but I had.
you told us today that you only hit him once in the jaw.
That was at the end of the fight, ma'am. It went on for a while. I was pushing him, swinging at him. I don't remember everything that happened.
You're aware that he had broken limbs.
I am.
Sir, you're aware that he had broken arms.
That's right.
You're aware he's still in a coma today.
Yes, ma'am. And if he would have stopped, I just wanted him to stop. He just kept going.
Nothing for that.
Alright, redirect.
No, Your Honor. May this witness be excused?
You may, thank you. Okay, I was just gonna, I didn't think so.
I see it in other.
You judge frequent.